The Doc is In is sponsored by Amada Senior Care.
Fox 56 News Chief Medical Contributor Dr. Ryan Stanton is in studio with us.
Good to have him back. This morning he's focusing on the risks that could come with getting some ink.
Yeah, this one's a new study that came out, but it's not a panic situation.
Okay.
Just
You're okay.
possible association for
I was
those who may or may not have tattoos here in the studio.
I have 6.
Oh,
Yes. So between the Diet Coke and the tattoos, I think I'm done for.
well,
But
interesting.
that's what I thought, but you told me not to panic.
Yeah, but don't panic, because here's why. Tattoos are much more common than they were just a couple of decades ago. Clearly, according to the new Pew Research Center, 32% of the U.S. adults have at least one, and 22% have more than one, maybe 6. Now considered to be more socially acceptable, everyone from pop stars to politicians seem to be sporting the ink. Unfortunately, new research shows that getting inked may increase cancer risk. That's a big may. The research found that getting a tattoo, regardless of its size, increases the risk of developing lymphoma by about 21%. Coupled with the global rise in the popularity of tattoos has been a largely unexplained increase in the incidence of malignant lymphoma, a cancer of the lymphatic system. In a new study, researchers from Lund University in Sweden examined the two to see if there was a connection. The study included 11,905 Swedish people in matched groups evaluating the incidence of cancer. The key to keep in mind is that the 21% increase is the amount over a relatively small number, so not a panic situation at all. It's felt that some of the ingredients within the ink can be carcinogenic, as well as their impact on our immune system with the inflammatory response. The key take home here is that when getting a tattoo, consider long-term risk. And if getting one, make sure you get it at a reputable establishment that uses aseptic techniques and is going to do the right things to make sure it's done correctly. But, you know, the question is really, the big thing to keep in mind is that correlation isn't automatically causation. Just because one thing happens and another thing happens doesn't mean they're necessarily related. And so there's going to be a lot more research here in exactly what may be the situation. It's probably not going to be the tattoo itself. It may be one ingredient that may be in it in certain situations or certain populations where they may have a reaction to it.
You talk about a reputable place. I think that's obviously great advice, but I think a lot of times what happens is people are out like a night of drinking, and that's when they're like, I'm getting a tattoo, and they don't necessarily think about a reputable place.
Well, the good news here in the United States is the vast majority of things are very regulated. Now, other parts of the globe, certain areas where it may not have ready access to reputable businesses, different situation. So just making sure that if you're going to do it, make sure you think through it clearly. There's a reason you can't sign contracts when you're intoxicated. So the same thing being, you may not want to go to the tattoo parlor in that same situation.
It's on you forever.
Good point.
So make sure you like it. You thought about it for a while.
Do you like all 6 of yours?
I do. I love all of them.
Good. She's happy.
Good.
Doc, we'll see you at the end of this hour. I know you have a lot of other fun topics to talk about.
We're not going to ruin anybody's day on the second one.
Okay, good. Nothing to worry about.
Things you can do to actually help things out.
All right, perfect. We'll be right back.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.